time for some lube talk on the Apostle P channel. Stay tuned, guys. Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 13 October 2013, and tonight we're going to talk about lubrication. Yeah, this is probably a video I never thought I would do. I've been, for years, long before YouTube, taking apart, cleaning, tuning, polishing, lubricating and reassembling my folding knives, and in this progressive world of modern materials and mechanisms and locks and pivots, most of the knife world has gravitated toward, shall we say, more modern lubricants than I use. So I've basically been hiding in the closet during most of my YouTube career, not discussing out of shame and embarrassment the lubricant that I have used all these years. Well, it's one of them in front of you. It's not, it's not this one, the Daiwa Real Oil, and the very nice pen-like applicator with the needle tip. It's not that one. This recently revealed to me by YouTube buddy and co-subscriber John from One All's Pub. Well, it's not this. This would be the finish line version of fluorinated grease, the same product that you can buy from Chris Reeve Knives, just in a different package. Cheaper and easier to apply, I believe. It's not the darling of the knife world, Century Solutions Tuf-Glide. This isn't what I've used for years. You know, this product that you can't even be regarded as a self-respecting knife expert or serious user or collector unless you use this. This isn't what I've been using for years. What is it? This one. In fact, I've been using this same bottle so long you can't even read it. It says Hoppies number 9 lubricating oil, high viscosity and penetration. For fine finishes and all mechanisms. Look, the barcode's even worn off the back. It's plain old gun oil. Yeah, this is what I've been using for years. And I admit it, I have a problem. And I just haven't been able to stop until very recently. Like the last couple weeks. This is the only thing I ever put on knives. Thank you guys for helping me. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about some knives and what lubricant they have in them and what lubricant they have had in them. Well, let's just take a look, shall we? Let's start at the left. This is my trusty Paramilitary 2. Been with me for, 3 or 4 years. Well used, broken in, been taken apart, put back together a bunch of times. Let's just take a look at the action. Try that again. And by the way, no blade play in any direction. Look at that. Would ya? See if you guys can guess what lubricant is in there. And by the way, the order in which the lubricants are arrayed and the knives are arrayed has no bearing on what's in them. That's just what I thought looked good. Okay, there was the pair of two. Here's a Spyderco Domino. Kind of hard to show you how free this blade is because it kind of runs into my thumb as I'm releasing it, but you get the picture. Both those knives very free, aren't they? Here's the Browse Division Flipper, widely regarded as one of the smoothest, freest flipping actions in the knife world. Let's see, let me turn around here with my right hand. Again, this is going to hit my thumb, but I think you get the picture. Almost falls closed on itself. And then the Sebenza. Of course, the Sebenza is widely regarded as one of the smoothest knives in the world, but you don't often see them this free. So, 4 knives with 4 mechanisms. 3 different mechanisms, let's say. We have Spyderco bushing pivot on phosphor bronze washers. We have Spyderco ball bearing pivot. We have Browse ball bearing pivot. And we have Chris Reeve phosphor bronze washer bushing pivot. All of them great examples of freedom, aren't they? What lubricant do you think is in these knives? Well, I'm going to tell you. This paramilitary 2 was last disassembled and lubricated about a year ago, which is rather significant, I think, because haven't our modern lubricants like Tuf-Glide, which is a dry lubricant, see, dry lubricant carried by mineral spirits. So this dry lubricant is suspended in a liquid of mineral spirits. You apply it to the affected components, and then the mineral spirits evaporates, leaving a dry lubricant on your pivot if you put it in a folding knife. So clearly, if this pair of 2 has gone a year without being disassembled and lubricated, it can't have like some nasty old gun oil in it, which, you know, gradually dries up, congeals, collects dust, and then gums up your pivot. It must have something like this in it, mustn't it? Something that can last a long time without collecting dust or turning into goo. Well, wrong. This pair of 2 last disassembled, cleaned, and lubricated about a year ago, which swings freely before you. Not cheating with a bunch of blade play. It's nice and tight. Yeah, it has Hoppy's number 9 gun oil in the pivot. You know, that stuff that is horrible for your knives and will ruin their action because of its gumminess and dust attracting properties. Yeah, this has Hoppy's number 9 gun oil in it. I'm going to save the Domino for last. This Chris Reeve Sebenza. Not an old knife, just had it for, less than a month. Well, when I got it, of course, I had to tune it, so I took it apart. I cleaned all the old Chris Reeve factory fluorinated grease out of it, and I put it back together with, you guessed it, Hoppy's gun oil. It was fine. It worked well. I was very happy with it. But you know what? On the advice of John from One All's Pub, he had found this Finish Line fluorinated grease online at Amazon. It was pretty inexpensive, and I really liked this syringe applicator and the fine tip. I bought some, and I took the old Sebenza apart again and reassembled it using the fluorinated grease. And frankly, I just love the way it feels. It complements that smooth, tight action of a Sebenza and just makes it feel, I think, like a Sebenza is supposed to. Any of you guys who are gearheads, I equate the feel of a Sebenza with fluorinated grease in the pivot to a rod bearing on a crankshaft. It's not loose, it's tight, but it's smooth and perfect. I just like the Sebenza better with the fluorinated grease. So let's move these around. Let's see, this can't be here. Let's put it here. So Para 2 on Hoppy's number 9, Sebenza on fluorinated grease. Then the browse. Well, Jason assembles his knives with Tuf-Glide in the pivots. And I got to tell you, when I got my division flipper, I also ordered a bottle of Tuf-Glide. And when I got it, it was plenty free. I have no qualms about that. But I could just sort of hear and feel as I closed the blade like that with my index finger or opened it with my thumb. I could sort of hear and feel each ball bearing rolling around in its groove. And it just didn't feel, how should I say this, polished. It didn't feel precise because I could feel and hear those bearings rolling around. So I put more Tuf-Glide in because I had some now, and well, it just didn't change much. But I'm going to sort of be quiet and you guys listen here. Are you hearing any bearings like individually rolling around? You're not. And now let's talk about the domino. When I got the domino, I did what I always do. I took it apart and looked inside of it, and from the factory, it was pretty smooth and pretty quiet. And I thought, since I got this new domino and since I have this new state-of-the-art dry lubricant that everybody talks about using in their bearing pivots, I'm going to put it in the domino when I put it back together. Well, I did. And, I flipped it open a few times and everything seemed fine, although maybe a little louder than before, and frankly it started to feel a little like my browse from the factory. I was feeling bearings and hearing bearings, and as I watched TV that evening and continued to sort of fondle it and play with it, something happened. I developed, just as it came to the closed position, it would almost stop itself. And when I forced it closed, it did so with this like fingernails on a chalkboard squeak. And the more I did it, the worse it got. And it almost like bound up, and you could almost feel bearings galling. So I went down to the basement and grabbed my Tuf-Glide, thinking maybe, I didn't get enough in there. And I put more in, like way too much. And okay, it was fine again. And that was weird. I thought maybe I had had a piece of abrasive in the ball detent hole, and that had come out and gotten jammed, and I'd washed it out and it was fine. And well, I put it away for the night and got it out the next day, and you know, it started to feel weird and gritty and nasty again, and something wasn't right. I was developing an opinion that was borne out by two different knives, and the more I used it, the worse it got. And then John from One All's Pub had sent me this stuff. He sort of swears by it, this Daiwa Real Oil. You can see that bubble moving across there. This isn't super thin like mineral spirits. It's got some viscosity. It's an oil. And right now, none of these knives have Tuf-Glide in them. None of them. Both the Browse and the Domino are riding on Daiwa Real Oil. I actually took the Domino apart before I got my Daiwa Real Oil from John and put Hoppy's number 9 in it. And it was, I'm sad to say, 1,000% better than this stuff. I did go ahead and put the Daiwa oil in it, and it just seems, I don't know, it seems a little better than the Hoppy's. I don't know how this Daiwa oil is going to do over time, but these ball bearings do seem to like it. I flushed all the Tuf-Glide out of my Browse using a high-tech product called charcoal lighter, and it's now got the Daiwa Real Oil in it. I can't hear the same annoying loose bearing sound that I heard with the Tuf-Glide in it. And all my weird binding up and squeaking systems are gone from my Domino with oil. Of course, the Para 2 we've established has the archaic Hoppy's number 9 gun oil. My point, guys, is this. I don't know what all your experiences are with this new high-tech dry lubricant with the cool applicator, but my experience is that it sucks. It's either it doesn't go on evenly or it just doesn't agree with all surfaces. Maybe it would be fine in a washer type setup, but I don't care what I'm hearing on, from YouTube and on forums. My experience, and now it is an experience in two very similarly constructed knives with ball bearings, it just doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work. I don't know if there's some process that I'm not doing that needs to be done. Like, do you need to take the knife apart and apply it to all the surfaces and let it dry and then put it back together and use it? If you do, I'm not interested, because I know what I can do with these two oily products. I don't know how the Daiwa Real Oil is going to do over time. I know how this stuff works, this stuff that you're never supposed to use in a knife pivot because of all its horrible properties over time. These are its horrible properties over time. These properties right here. Wow. If the emperor of modern knife lubricants is Tuf-Glide, the emperor has no clothes. I will probably, because this is such a cool bottle and a cool applicator, I really do like that, this pinpoint control. I will probably dump the contents of this Tuf-Glide bottle out into the garbage, and I'll probably fill it up with some of this. Or, you know what I might do? I might go out and buy another high-tech lubricant. I might go buy some Mobil 1 5W50 synthetic motor oil and put it in this Tuf-Glide bottle and use it. I've always wondered how it would perform in a knife pivot. It's not organic, petroleum based, so it might last a little longer without congealing, and I might put it in this cool little bottle with this cool applicator and give it a whirl, give you guys a report. But Tuf-Glide, in my opinion, in the application of a knife pivot, specifically with a ball bearing or roller bearing pivot, absolute garbage. And you guys who are running it in your knives, you might think it's good, but I'm telling you, get it out of there and put an oil product in. Either any old gun oil, or I do love this Daiwa Real Oil. I notice it to be just a little smoother in this ball bearing pivot than the gun oil was. If you think you're running Tuf-Glide and you got the best there is, you're just wrong. Unless I'm doing it totally wrong. But anything that complicated doesn't need to be. And these products here are not complicated. Nor is this one, which works great in a Sebenza pivot. That's all I got. Feel free to lambaste me in the comments section of this video, or maybe educate me a little bit, but I don't think I'm an idiot, and I can't figure out how to make this work as well as any of these other three. So John, since you've helped me on this lubrication journey of mine that kind of led right back to its beginning, I'm going to close with your closing line. That's my 2 cents. Keep the change, guys. Have a good night.